to talk to you guys. Good to be here, and thanks for letting me share some ideas about investing in general. Also, I'll introduce a project I'm heavily involved in, and perhaps give some insights into blockchain and blockchain investments. I'm sure every one of you knows that the blockchain world is getting very cold. The enthusiasm from last year or early part of this year has tapered away. It seems like because you guys are very down, a lot of people playing with their cell phones, not listening, and this is happening all over the place because all the coins, all the valuations are dropping like crazy, right? Like half off, 70% off, 80% off, 90%, 99% even. So it's pretty miserable right now in the blockchain world. And so you see a lot of people are not that interested in blockchain anymore, not like beginning of this year. This is very, very normal. And perhaps it's going to get worse. I think maybe this half of the year, people like, some optimists still say that, it's going to, we're going to have a bull run, the second half of this year. Or next month, when the SEC or approves of the ETF for Bitcoin, we're going to have another bull run. I'm actually not that optimistic about it. I think maybe we'll see a dead cat bounce in the financial term. Dead cat bounce means that when the cat dies, it bounces. It's going to go down even further. But does that mean that we should be not doing blockchains? No, absolutely not. Because a little bit about my background is that I graduated from Stanford in 1999 and went back to China with a couple of my classmates to start an internet company in China. So that was we're one of the pioneers in the Chinese internet industry. The website, if you were around that time using the internet, you will know that a website called ChinaRen, I was a founder of ChinaRen, which is one of the earliest social networks in China. So when we founded the company in '99, when it was the hottest, for the internet industry, then in 2000, the market tanked, just like what's happening in the blockchains. And for about a year and a half, 2 years, nobody was talking about the internet anymore. And everyone felt that internet was just a bubble. It burst, everything was back to normal, and that was the end of the internet. But that didn't happen. Okay, internet actually grew out of the very bearish market of the 2000, 2001, and 2002, and it profoundly changed our society, our human race. And I believe the same thing is going to happen to blockchains, because for the flourishing market you saw last year and early part of this year, it's very, very fake. It's not really prosperity. It's because if you look at what's happened, all these projects that came about, they're very, very early. They're actually just ideas, just PowerPoint presentations, or in the blockchain world, you call them white papers. Just a description of ideas. And then they issue these coins, and they put onto the exchanges and for people to invest in. And these were not even VC level projects, they're even angel level projects, but at very, very high valuations, at hundreds of millions of RMB or dollars for practically just ideas. Is that normal? It's not normal at all. To me, a lot of these coins, they're just like stamps. You're trading nothing. You're just trading an idea, a token of an idea, and you're trading off it. So that's why when it fell, a lot of these valuations fell. It's very, very normal. Currently, what I can see is only 2 applications. That's real applications for the blockchain world. One is Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency. Okay, that's real. And 2, it's a fundraising. It's called ICO. It's like fundraising is a real application, and it's done by Ethereum. And these are the only 2 applications that's real, and nothing else is real. It's all very, very fake. because that's the sad part about the blockchain world today. And a lot of people early on this year or last year, they want to do ICO. They thought, wow, ICO means money. You put out a coin, you raise a lot of money. That sounded great. But what happened for this half a year? Almost all ICOs tanked. I haven't seen any good ICOs for this half a year. None. Even some, like when after ICO went up, then just drop. So in Chinese, I want to say a term I heard that was really, really funny. They said ICO in Chinese is called 发币，发币一时爽，之后火葬场。So that means to translate a little bit, when you do an ICO, you get very, very happy just on the first day only. Then afterwards, cremation, cremate, burn the ashes every day. So for myself, actually, we had a project and we issued an ICO. But when I did this project, it's called a Commerce Data Connection. We actually didn't want to just raise money and just make money off it. What we want to do is we want to make it a real project. We want to do a project that's going to be applied to the real world. So from this idea, and we have developed for a year, and our chain, our industry, is there a clicker? This is the clicker, right? I'll quickly go through this. This is myself. So what we are is that we're an industrial-based public chain that puts consumer data onto the public chain. So what we aim to do is to move the world from e-commerce to chain commerce or to free commerce. Because e-commerce today, is it free? It's not free because it's monopolized by these huge e-commerce giants. In the US, it's Amazon. In China, it's Alibaba. And all the other e-commerce players have to play by their rules. And only they make the huge amount of profits. And that's not very fair. And because they derive their power through consumer data. Consumer data is the most valuable asset these companies own today. Amazon, Google, Alibaba, Baidu. These companies own consumer data. That's why they're very, very powerful. And what I see through blockchain is that we can change that. We can make consumer data readily available. Oh, wow, this is very, very quick. Readily available to everyone who wants to build applications on top of it. So today, you see a lot of the public chains like Ethereum, EOS, or IPFS, or others. But these generic public chains are not well suited for specific industrial applications. The main reason, there's lots of conflicts between different types of applications. And for now, until blockchain becomes very, very mature, a general public chain will not solve all industry problems. And most industry problems today, I believe, can be only solved by industrial-based public chains. So I'll quickly go through this. We have a very experienced team. A lot of them came from companies like Google, companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Alibaba, Baidu, et cetera, et cetera. Also from the financial industry as well. Our chain is under public testing, so all the source code is on GitHub, and so the specific characteristic of our public chain that's different than the traditional public chain is that it has a peer-to-peer data network that's with the hash code stored onto the chain. So in this way, we can have big data. And the main difference between us and IPFS, because a lot of people ask that question, is how you different IPFS. You can consider IPFS as a decentralized Dropbox. And for us, we're more of a decentralized Google Big Table. So we're more useful for commercial data applications. So very quickly, so this is our public chain, the wallet, obviously. And today, I'll quickly go through this. Because data is monopolized by these giants, this is the first application we use, is that we want to make a decentralized advertising system so that advertisers can go directly to the consumers, and consumers, when their data is used by these advertisers, that they will get rewarded for their data usage. And so the consumers control what data goes onto the chain and control how they want to get rewarded. Anyways, so because I'm running out of time, I won't explain too much further, but the goal for our project is to quickly become solve real life problems, rather than just have ideas, just trade. And today, in the blockchain world, it's actually, the environment is pretty bad. Many of the investors who invest in blockchain project, they don't really care about your project. All they said is that, why don't you just, in Chinese called 拉盘. I don't know how do you say it in English, but they want you to pump money, pump up the coin price. That's all they care about. They don't even care about what you do. They don't even care about whether you solve the real world problem. They just care about whether you have a good story. That's pretty sad. That's a sad reality. But it's a good thing that the market is very, very cold. It's getting colder. So people's expectations will be very low. And hopefully that more people can work on blockchain to solve real life problems. And only by solving real life problems, only by having many people involved and using blockchain, that this blockchain can have a great future. If it's just for trading, if it's just for going on exchanges, buy and sell these coins, trading and trying to make money, that will be a bubble. But I'm very, very optimistic. Like I said, I'm not a pessimist. I'm pessimist saying that I'm not optimistic that the market will become bullish very soon. But I'm optimistic that blockchain will change the world. Thank you.